I'm Courtney Kaysen.
I'm Elise Ivy.
And we're two beauty besties
talking all things beauty. Hey, what's up, my beauties? Welcome into Basic Beauty 2019. Well, we made it. We made it into our next year, Cece.
Here we are.
Here we are. Welcome
Couple
in.
weeks in and thriving.
Is that right? Are we thriving?
I'd like to think so.
All right. Well, I'm Elise Ivy.
I'm Courtney Kaysen.
And we're so excited that you're joining us for Basic Beauty. You know, we really just, I feel like this is like an obligatory topic since it's January 2019. New Year's resolutions.
What do you think about your life?
Do you have them?
Mm-hmm.
Are we thinking about our life or are we ignoring them?
Well, you know what's really interesting is I found myself noticing this year more than ever. People weren't talking about resolutions.
Mm-mm.
They were saying the word intention.
I know. I'm right there with you.
And is that a get out of jail card free where it's like, you know what? I intended to do it. Just on that particular day, I wasn't feeling it.
No, I intended, yet I have no actual motivation to continue my intention.
Right. And does that make it okay that, like, yeah, I was going to go to the gym, but then the sun didn't come out and then I lost it, so maybe I'll try again next week.
Yeah, I do think that intention really is kind of a cop-out, but I'm okay with that. I've never been like a major resolution girl because I always kind of figured if I wanted to do it, I'd already be doing it.
Me either. And you know, the other thing that I find interesting specifically is like, I never thought I had to do resolutions because I was like, I'll just give it up for Lent, which is even more curious because I am not Catholic. Born and raised Greek Orthodox, you know, and I love that we can participate in Lent. But it's like Lent, it's one thing, you know, should you decide to give it up.
40 days.
Yeah. But it's not like I'm committing to giving up carbs for 40 days. I feel like there's a little more weight to a resolution that sometimes feels unattainable.
Yeah, well, 365 days is a lot more of a commitment than 40 days, that's for sure.
When you put it like that.
Yeah.
It's rude.
Okay, so with all that being said, I made 2.
I did. I am there with you. Go on.
Go on. However, I chose not to take anything away this year. Instead, I chose to add in.
Great way to do it.
Thank you. Thank you.
So what did you choose to add in?
Okay, well, I wanted to maintain my meditation practice, which I have to tell you, my goal is 2 times a day for 20 minutes every single day. I will say that
Do you ever fall asleep? Like, where are you meditating?
No, I really don't fall asleep because I sit up straight, but I fall asleep after, yeah.
Yeah, so like pencil in a nap.
Yeah, well, it's really great if you're planning out. But you know what's weird about it? Sometimes it gives me more energy. Sometimes it's in lieu of a nap.
Ooh.
I know. I
like that.
However, I will tell you that I haven't been great about the 2 times a day, but I have been pretty solid with 1 time a day.
And so any particular subject you're meditating on?
I do a specific type of meditation called Transcendental Meditation where it's mantra-based. Mm-hmm. So that's what I do.
Okay.
Yep. The other one is that I want to see more live music this year.
Ooh.
I know, fancy, right?
You know what? I love live music.
Mm-hmm.
I love the vibe. I love getting dressed up. I love the dinner beforehand. I love the experience. I just wish there was a better way to exit the venue. That is the only Debbie Downer. I mean, and I'd say that if you were going to go see Elton John versus Lady Gaga, the thrill is the same. Or like we have the World Cafe in Philly.
Yeah.
But why does parking and public transportation have to be such an issue?
Well, can I tell you what my dad, Mr. John Ivy, would always pull? All right, kids, pack it up 20 minutes prior to the ending. I didn't see a finale or an ending of anything from age 0 to 18.
But now that, you know, here you are.
Yes, I can drive myself.
Yeah. Do you appreciate Papa Ivy's
I'm still quite
intention?
eager to leave about 10 minutes prior to everything. In fact, oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. I'm just realizing that I am my dad because I actually went to see the Nutcracker this year.
Cute.
And I left early.
Well, but do you think it's okay to do that because you know how it ends?
I do know how it ends. I've seen it about 1,700 times. The other thing was, you know, I was really excited to get to the next thing that we were doing, which was going out. And so I needed to run home real quick and walk my dog. And so I thought, all right, this is how I'm going to do this. I'm going to cut out early. I'm going to go home. I'm going to walk Milo. By the time I get back, everybody be ready to go out. So it was like perfect timing.
Oh, that's great.
So I just missed like, you know, one thing.
It's nice when you have an animal that can like get you out of something early that like could be challenged by a group of women. What do you mean you're leaving early?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
No, I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
No, you won't.
Well,
you're gonna go home and go to bed.
Well, yeah, I mean, sometimes that's me, but usually it's not.
I know.
Normally I'm game time. Like,
you are total game time.
Yeah. Okay, so what are your resolutions or your intentions?
Resolution, intention, AG and I are doing a juice cleanse.
I love it.
I'm a little nervous.
How do we feel?
Will we get in an argument?
Probably.
Will we be snappy? Will we be those people that haven't had a cup of coffee that you look at on the side of the street and be like, does she have the flu? Does she have like she feels good?
Does she have the flu?
Will I actively be detoxing? Like, what's the bathroom sitch? Like, there's a lot of scary things to think about in a 3-day no food juice cleanse.
I will tell you that the few times in my life I've tried anything all liquid, I was like, I basically became like a pro bathroom finder because like you have to pee every 15 minutes.
So true.
It's really tough.
And that's what I think I worry about. Like,
are you commuting during this time?
Yeah.
That's a problem.
And then like, what about like the judginess that I instill on myself and that like we've been in the same meeting room for gosh knows how long and I've been to the bathroom 3 times.
Yeah. Well, also, how are you going to feel if you don't make it all 3 days?
Failure is not an option.
Thank you. That's what I love about you.
But also I plan to just drink gallons upon gallons of water because one of the things that like gets on my nerves when people talk about this idea of healthy living, like, oh, if you're hungry, chew a stick of gum or drink lots of water. At no point in my life, I'm in the mid-30s right now, have I ever looked at a salacious bottle of water and I'm like, that looks like a meal.
I'll take one of those.
Satisfied. So those are the things that are going on in my mind about the juice cleanse. So I am a little nervous, and doing it with a spouse, like it's almost one of those things that like you want to be private because like if you are having like a physical withdrawal from like the physical act of unnecessary eating, like are you going to be snappy? You know, is your face going to break out?
Well, I think it's also great that you're doing it together because then someone's not at home cooking like a delicious meal that smells so good and you're literally drinking a carrot.
Yeah, you're like, is that shrimp scampi? That smells delicious. But my other intention and resolution, aside from that, super pumped to be doing the juice cleanse. I think I can do it. I think we can make it.
You can
AG
do
is
it.
excited about it. My second intention is to just really organize my house. Like there's a lot of stuff that needs to be thrown away. There's a lot of things that need to be grouped together. And it needs to be addressed. Like I'm really excited about that show on Netflix.
I'm obsessed.
The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. I can't wait for that to come out. And
she is officially the cutest woman ever.
Yeah, and I think it's just like a good time to like take internal, you know, thought on like what is it that I don't need in my house that is just so cluttered that might be adding to like stress or anxiety in my everyday getting ready. So those are my 2 things that I'm working on.
And you know what's really great about your second one here with tidying up is that here in the Northeast, of course, we live in Philly and outside of Philly, is just that this is the perfect time because you're pretty much forced to be indoors anyway. So this spring cleaning idea, that doesn't work for us because that's when we finally get outside.
Yeah, we're like, great, sunshine.
Right.
We'll be out 30 hours and 24 hours a day.
That's true. That is a true statement.
All right, so who do we have coming up today?
All right, so check it out. We have a fellow Austinite, Kirbie Johnson, coming up. She's been a beauty contributor with Popsugar for several years now. She's a gal's gal and your best friend. Let's check it out. So I am super excited about our next guest. Her name is Kirbie Johnson, and you might be familiar with Kirbie from Popsugar, a fabulous lifestyle site that gives you just incredible tips on makeup and fashion and trends and basically anything and everything that's positive in the world. Kirbie's here today. She is a host, a trend producer, a senior reporter for Popsugar, and she has an incredible background, and I'm really excited to jump in with her today. So welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. I want to come here every day.
Well, we wouldn't turn that down.
Okay, good.
So one of the things I just want to start out with, you know, we were just chatting about 5 seconds ago and found out that we have everything in common.
Basically.
Including where we grew up. So let's start with that. Where did you grow up?
Okay, I grew up in Georgetown, Texas, a small suburb of Austin, the 512. I have not changed my cell phone number.
Nice.
I live in LA now. I've been there about 10 years. But I loved growing up in Texas, and I miss it every day. I don't get back back as often as I want to.
Yeah, well, I hear you there. That's so funny. So I started out my life in Austin as well, and then I moved to LA, and then here we are sitting across the table from each other. So tell me just a little bit about your background as far as how you decided to go into beauty.
Well, my mom was a cosmetologist, and so growing up, I was always seeing her play around, especially with me. I was like her little baby doll. So she would give me perms. She gave me my first set of highlights in 7th grade. You know, she didn't trust anyone else to do my hair. So I kind of grew up just being very fascinated with beauty. Not that I needed to look a certain way or be kept a certain way. It was just this like innate fascination with how does your skin work, and you know, what can you do for your skin to make it look better? And I was very, very skincare focused. So I was always picking up the Allures. I have Allure magazines from like 1994 that I still have in pristine condition.
Well, hang on to those.
Right, Linda Wells was like, "You're going to be my archivist." But
that's amazing.
I have always just really loved it. So I knew that I'd like to talk about it, and I was always kind of the friend that had the beauty recommendation. It all kind of came together though when I went to college and I was working in salons there. I needed a job outside of school, and so I kind of worked my way up at a salon, and that kind of helped me for when I moved to LA, because when you move to LA to become a host, it's not like you can just apply for a job and get it, right? You know, so it's like one of those things where I had something to fall back on, kind of. I'm like, I have this passion for beauty. I have a journalism degree. How can this come together? And then Popsugar, it was almost like it just fell out of the sky and into my lap. They said, we need an on-camera beauty expert with a journalism degree that knows her stuff and can talk about it and feel very confident in it. That's kind of what happened.
Oh, and that's incredible. And how long have you been with Popsugar?
7 years.
Wow.
I know. I'm like the old granny of the company at this point.
I always granny. That's great.
I know. They're like, oh, you remember when you were like a wee little 24-year-old joining the ranks? I'm like, I know. Look at me now. I'm a grown woman. So
there you go.
Yeah.
With opinions. And
yes.
You know what? I feel like you share a lot of positive advice as well. So I appreciate that as a viewer. But I'm wondering, you have 2 shows with Popsugar currently, right?
Yes.
Tell me about those shows.
Okay, so we actually have a bunch that I'm a part of. One of them is called Beauty Junkie. It basically is all tips and tricks, and it's kind of a way for me to guide you through any beauty question that you have. One that comes to mind is like, how do I pull off dark lipstick? I think matching your lipstick is a question a lot of women and men have. So it's kind of like, look at your skin tone, look for different finishes, especially if you have a certain skin type. So that's one area. We also do tutorials and stuff like that. I also have a show called Kirbie Tries, where I go and I try basically anything that's trending on the internet to see if it's worth it. For some reason, there has been this huge push in people's attention to beauty products, specifically on Facebook, where they're getting targeted ads for certain products. And people are like, this is $14. It says it's going to change my life. Will it? And so I take the opportunity to actually try it out and say, you know what? It will. And it's $14, so why not? I'm kind of the guinea pig.
Now, being the guinea pig, do you feel like you can give an honest assessment back to your viewers of, yes, this works, or no, this didn't work, or this is what I recommend?
Yes, and Popsugar actually is really great about that. You know, the thing about me giving my opinion is you want it to be honest and real, but at the same time, you know, what if a brand wants to come and work with us? So we have to be very transparent about that. Of course, I love working with brands. A lot of the brands that we do work with, I love and grew up with. So it's all about being super transparent. If I do, let's say a sponsor comes on to a show and wants to sponsor me using their makeup, straight up off the top, I'm going to be like, our friends at so-and-so sponsored this video. I might not give a review of it, but I might show people exactly how to use the product so they can make the decision for themselves.
You know, that's interesting, because I feel like in the Instagram world, if you will, that was a big issue for a long time with a lot of influencers, until influencers were now encouraged to put #ad and that type of thing, and to disclaim the fact that they are actually being paid to promote a certain product.
So many people still don't do it, and that's the crazy part. That is the crazy part. That's, you know, that's fraudulent, to be completely honest, because you don't want somebody to buy something under the assumption that you're authentically giving your opinion.
Right. Well, you also lose your credibility that way.
100%. I think that's kind of where it's an interesting mix of, you know, the experts and then influencers. There are some influencers that are experts. There are some influencers that are definitely not experts. So you kind of have to take everything with a grain of salt in this beauty community. That's why I'm actually really proud that Popsugar wanted to do Kirbie Tries, because it was like, we trust your opinion, we trust your voice, and then it builds up our credibility as well, that you aren't just assigning your name to every single brand.
Sure. Well, at the end of the day, you know, one of the rules that we live by here at Beauty IQ is all you have is trust. Right?
Amen.
The minute you lose it, it's over.
I know, and it's scary. It's
Yeah.
a really scary thing. I mean, it's not anything I ever worry about, to be completely honest. I always joke I'm a Scorpio moon, and the Scorpio moon, I'm an astrology creep. Sorry.
I will talk to you about that off the air for hours. Hours.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. But Scorpio moons, we want to be authentic in everything we do. It pains us to not be 100% authentic, and I always just use that as my excuse. I'm like, oh, I'm a Scorpio moon. That's why I feel this way.
Whatever works, right?
I'm sure it drives my producers and, you know, our editors crazy, because I'm constantly like, I can't say this, I just can't say it, and they're like, okay, fine, put it in whatever words you want, you know. But they're all really great, and they really support me and support me being myself, and that, I mean, I think kind of speaks why I've been at the company for so long.
So let's talk about some of the trends that are going on in beauty right now, and
Lord.
some of your favorites. I know, you know what, that really is opening Pandora's box here, because the beauty trends, they just roll in every single day.
You know what?
There's always something to, you know, to look out for. What's going on right now that's catching your eye?
You know, I think there's still this love of holographic, glitter, shiny, pretty things. And I think when it comes to brands doing big launches that really stand out, that's kind of a component of it. And highlighters. I know.
Everything you just said just makes me smile.
Highlighters everywhere. You know, Beauty by Popsugar, we have a really great natural lit from within highlighter. So if you look at someone wearing it, you're like, oh, she looks fresh and pretty, not like you have a giant, you know, orb on your face from outer space. And for some people, that's the look, right? And I don't pass any judgment. If that's the look you want, go for it, because I do it half the time too. But we love our highlighter because it is this natural lit from within glow. But right now, I'm just noticing that everybody's wearing highlighter. Even people that might not even wear foundation, they're wearing highlighter.
Totally. Gotta get your glow on.
Yeah, gotta get your glow.
Especially in the colder months. I feel like it's even more important. A lot of us have a little bit of a natural glow in that summertime, you know, part of the year. But right now, boy, you know, anything to get your glow on.
Exactly. And you know, in terms of skincare, I think so many people care about the ingredients going onto their skin now. I thought that maybe in the past consumers didn't really care, or you know, beauty obsessives didn't really care, as long as it was pretty or had a nice package,
or it was working.
Yeah, it was actually working. But now it's one of those things where they're like, okay, is there a paraben in this? And then for people that aren't familiar with what the ingredients might be, they're like, but what is a paraben?
Yeah.
Is it something that I should have in my skincare or my cosmetics?
Right.
Is there a way to get around it? And so we find a lot on the site that we are giving primers on, okay, this is what a paraben is, this is what it's intended for, this is the, you know, this is the problem solution area, this is why, you know, certain products do or don't use it.
Right.
And we have a show called The Makeup on Popsugar that I host, and it goes really into a deep dive of different ingredients.
You know what, that's really fantastic, because I mean, that's giving so much education to the customer, so then they can decide, hey, is it worth it for me to have that product that's going to make me look like XYZ, but it does have parabens in it or something like that.
Yep.
You know, I'll take it a step further and say I totally agree with you that that is huge and trending in skincare right now, but I also think in makeup as well.
100%.
Everybody's concerned about everything that they're putting on their skin. It's our biggest organ.
You're so
and,
right.
you know, on our teeth and on our hair and whatnot, because of course beauty is all encompassing here.
Exactly.
But I think I love that. I'm right there. I'm trending with it.
Yeah, exactly. And Beauty by Popsugar is paraben free. Got to put that in there. I mean, we really thought about that, and it was one thing that actually the readers and viewers of our site cared about. They wanted a product that was effective, made them feel good, easy to use, but was made without those bad ingredients like, you know, the parabens and the mineral oils, the sulfates, all those things.
So for somebody maybe just tuning in and wondering, who is Popsugar? Tell us about that.
Or boy. I mean, so I love to tell the story of how this site was created. Lisa Sugar, her last name is Sugar. Her husband's name is Brian Sugar.
That's her Brian.
That is her Brian. Hi, Lisa and Brian. So Lisa just started a blog. It was called Popsugar. She just liked to report on entertainment news, but in a positive way. This is back in like 2006, 2007, when the blog game was very, very vicious and mean. She felt like she couldn't find anything positive out there that was like uplifting to people. And it was getting a massive amount of page views, millions of page views every month. And her husband, who was kind of like a tech guy, was like, we should make this a legit site and make this a business. And they did. And
boy, is it a business.
It is a business.
Over 400 employees at this point.
Yeah. And you know
Incredible.
what? The thing is like, I remember being there and knowing everybody at every office. And now I'm like, who are you? Who are you?
That's awesome.
In the best way possible. So we're like, obviously Brian and Lisa are super proud. I'm proud to be even associated with the brand in an arm's length. But I have so much respect for them because they really saw an opportunity. They dove into it, and then now they have different sectors. So I'm a part of Popsugar Studios, which is all the on-camera stuff, and we also have a huge editorial team. We're based in San Francisco, have a huge team in New York. We have a team in Chicago, in the UK. So we're kind of everywhere, and Popsugar, to put it in a sentence, is the Power Your Happy site. If you want to feel good, if you want to learn something new, if you have questions like about a certain, food fad or, a diet. I know like the keto diet's really big right now. We'll give you a primer on what the keto diet is. Then you can hop over to Popsugar Beauty and learn, oh, so-and-so's coming out with a new makeup line. Here's all the products that they have to offer and how much they cost. Or, I need to learn, I want to be a better parent. Are there any, parenting methods that I should be aware of? Go to Popsugar Family and learn about that. So we have this little universe within the Popsugar brand that we kind of bring to you on a daily basis, but nothing is negative. We're always honest and truthful. We like to think of ourselves as your girlfriends, kind of giving you advice and steering you in the right direction, but not uninformed advice. When we report on the site, we're talking to dermatologists, hair experts that have been in the game for 20, 30 years. We make sure that we back up everything before we're actually claiming anything.
You know what? It's fantastic. It's like we can finally look through those rose-colored glasses of life, right? It's just rainbows and unicorns at Popsugar with factual information.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
I love the way you put it.
Well, I always imagine like my perfect world would be rainbows and unicorns, right?
Yeah.
But, sometimes it's not always like that.
Totally.
So I'm questioning here. You also, one of the things that I love is that you actually get to do a ton of interviews with different celebrities, right? Are you willing to share with us one of your favorite celebs that you've gotten to
my
interview?
gosh, yes, I love one of the reasons I actually wanted to work at Popsugar was because I was reading the site for the celebrity news. I'm a big celebrity news fiend, and that's why I moved to LA. I love LA and the celebrity culture. But the one that comes to mind right now is Rihanna.
Cool.
I interviewed her on a red carpet.
Okay.
And it was during the 777 era. Do you remember this? Like, she was kind of a little all over the place. And I was going for her fragrance launch, and there was a red carpet, I think, in a Macy's in LA. It was pouring down rain in December. Of course, we had to wait a little bit for her, but no one was going to leave. It was Rihanna. And when she showed up, she looked like a vision. I can't even tell you how beautiful this woman is. But also, she's just real. And I think that's why I'm a huge fan of hers, but that's why her fans love her, because I remember asking her questions. The fragrance was called Nude. Of course it was. And she said, one of the questions that I asked was, what's your favorite body part to show off? And she was like fully going for it. She's like, well, I don't have a butt right now, but if I did, because she had lost a lot of weight, she's like, that's the first thing I'd be showing off. And I'm like, this is the best soundbite I could ever get as a reporter. This is amazing. But she has the charm. She's like a full out, she's one of those celebrities that I kind of equate her almost to like a movie star in a sense, that like people are going to know her for decades and centuries to come. Sure. The other one that kind of comes to mind, Gwyneth Paltrow. Gwyneth Paltrow is so smart in what she's doing with her brand, and
obsessed.
And she is a movie star. She has the accolades. She doesn't have to
comes from a family.
Exactly. And she doesn't have to do another movie ever again if she doesn't want to. Goop is doing well for her, Goop.
Of course.
She's doing well. But one of the things is that she was so kind and friendly during our interview. And I know a lot of people are like, well, she was on camera, of course she had to be, but she really didn't have to be nice to me before the cameras were rolling. Aww. You know what I mean? And she actually was. So I just admire her a lot, and I thought that she was the real deal, and she knew a lot about beauty. That was the thing that I was very...
Well, I don't know that you could have such a successful business in beauty right now without being fully informed, because the competition is so steep.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yep. She knew it. She knew everything. And I was very impressed with her.
Very cool. Those are great. All right. So we want to get into some fun stuff now. And we're wondering, what's the biggest beauty blunder that you personally have ever had?
Why me?
We're all right there with you, I promise.
So many things. You know what? I'll actually say this. I got microbladed about 3 years ago, before anybody else did. Yeah. And it was one of those things where I was testing it out for people. And I went and got it done, and my brows were too... Sorry, we bless you. Sorry, I know. Bless you. I know. I kept hearing it. I was like, should I stop? Should I stop? I know. I was like, is it a baby crying? No,
you know what? I've heard it's not good to hold them in anyway.
Yeah, I know. You really should. You really should just let them fly. Right. So this will take me back a couple years ago. I got microbladed 3 years ago to test it out before anybody else, to see what it was all about. And while I do like the look of microbladed brows. For me, they were way too dark initially. So I felt like I was walking around and I looked like Groucho Marx for like a solid year and a half. Yeah. But once I was like, cool.
For a year and a half.
I have really crazy brows. But when they faded, they looked great. And now I'm really starting to notice that they are fading a lot more. So I want to go back and get them done again, but maybe try a different shade.
Now tell me, have you heard of powdering?
I have heard of powdering, but I feel like I'm a little hesitant to try it out. You know what I mean?
Because well, I don't blame you after a year and a half of not being so happy with something.
Kirby, you looked like
no. For the record, I'm looking at you right now. We are eye to eye. We are staring into each other's beautiful eyes, and you have great brows.
Thank you. It's help from Beauty by Popsugar.
So tell me, do you have a favorite product from Beauty by Popsugar?
I do. I have two.
Okay.
One is a bestseller, far and wide. It's the Be Cosmic Crystal Liquid Lip. It's a holographic lip topper. It tastes amazing.
As if I thought we couldn't be any more similar.
Yes.
It's mine too.
Oh, God. I mean, we're not alone. Literally everybody loves this product. It's like flying off the shelves. And I just like it because you think you're getting one thing and then you put it on and it's actually a really subtle, beautiful, holographic tint to your lip. It doesn't add color. It doesn't make you look like a crazy disco ball. It just has this really cool magical effect that I think is almost like a party trick. And then I love the mascara. It's one of the only mascaras that I've used in a really long time that doesn't flake or smudge on me. Nice. It's water resistant, so you have to use makeup remover to take it off. Yeah. But you don't have to worry about it flaking throughout the day. And the double ends for me, I have to get in those corners and get the baby lashes, and so it comes with a smaller wand to, I'd say, prime your lashes first.
Pretty much, yeah.
So I do it on the lower and upper lashes to kind of prime, and then I add the big kahuna brush, the thick brush, to volumize. Perfect. And I am very extra when it comes to mascara, so I do top and bottom for the volume. Because
we don't call that extra here at Beauty IQ.
Yeah, that's how I live my life.
We just call that an everyday experience. That's going to the grocery store.
Exactly.
Well, that's all fantastic information. I have to say, you've just been an absolute delight.
Oh, thank you.
We're so excited. We're actually
you.
launching Popsugar tonight on Beauty IQ, but we really appreciate you being here on Basic Beauty on our podcast.
Thank you for having us.
All right.
All right, beauties, now it's time for a segment we call Hot or Not.
All right, so what we did is we asked on our social platforms about the latest beauty trends. We said, what do you love? What beauty trends do you hate? So I have quite a few here, Cece, and I'm ready to go through them, and let's see what we have to say about them.
Great.
All right, so let's start with Valerie. She says her favorite beauty trend is fuller brows.
Ooh, yes.
Are we on board?
Yeah, I'm on board.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on board.
I'm totally on board.
And I think fuller brows are really interesting because you can have a fuller brow with a full face of makeup or no makeup at all, and it works both ways.
Well, and what I like about it is there's so many products out there that can give you a fuller brow if you're not blessed with a full brow.
So true.
Yeah. The other thing I'm really loving, and I wish I could do this with my brows, I love when people brush the brows straight up and they kind of look like that boy brow and it just stays. Mine don't stay, but I do like that look.
I don't know where to stop with that look because, I mean, do you brush the whole brow up?
Yeah.
Like, where is the point in symmetry when you brush your brows up? Because I like the look, but where does it end?
You know, I think it's going to have to go face by face, brow by brow.
Yeah.
But I do really like, especially when the brow that's closest to the nose, like your inner brow, when that's brushed up.
Yes, yeah, I like those.
I do like that. All right, her least favorite is over contouring.
I think that's fair.
It is fair.
And you know what I think I can fully agree with that is because when you're out, like, and it's low lighting, and say it's Saturday night, like, you can over contour. It's great for pictures. Like, it looks great in low level lighting. But like for the everyday, it's just too much. It's like, that looks like dirt on your face.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. All right, so just to recap, fuller brows.
Yes.
Hot.
Hot.
So hot right now.
So hot.
It's hot. Over contouring.
Not.
I'm going to have to go with not, except on Saturday nights.
Well, but you know who I also think over contours and does it really well in a natural way? Like Kim Kardashian. Like, she wears a lot of contour that to the normal person would be like, that's a lot of contour. But when I see it on her complexion, it's so blended. I'm like, that's great. But who has time for that?
Kim Kardashian. Right, correct.
West. Kim Kardashian West.
Thank you for making that proper.
Well, that's her name.
Well, that does it for this episode of Basic Beauty. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Hey, be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook. You can find me at Elise Ivy QVC.
And me, Courtney Kaysen QVC. And while you subscribe to our podcast, be sure to check out my other one, Shop Culture, where we dive into the wonderful world of shopping and all of its fabulous explorations.